Bernie! Sanders! Bernie! Sanders!
Let me thank all of you. Let me thank all of you for being here this afternoon. Let me thank Roseanne and Nina and Tulsi and everybody else, Larry Cohen, who helped organize this event. Let me just say, I'm following a whole lot of great speakers and people who have been active in the progressive movement for their whole lives. So I don't know how much I can add to what they said, but let me just say a few things. Number one, please do not forget, Donald Trump goes into the White House having lost the popular vote by 2 million votes. Number two, on every important issue facing the American people, whether it is raising the minimum wage to a living wage, whether it is pay equity for women, whether it is rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and creating millions of good-paying jobs, whether it is making public colleges and universities tuition free, whether it is demanding that billionaires like Donald Trump and his friends start paying their fair share of taxes, whether it is transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy, whether it is joining the rest of the industrialized world and guaranteeing health care to every man, woman, and child as a right, whether it is guaranteeing 12 weeks of paid family and medical leave. On all of those issues, the American people are behind us. And here is an issue, as you all know, where we at the grassroots have already succeeded. We have taken on corporate America. We have taken on the National Association of Manufacturers. We have taken on the pharmaceutical industry. We have defeated the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Those are no small things. But now, obviously, we have our work cut out for us. So let me just say a few things about where I perceive we are today. Donald Trump won the election for a number of reasons. But one of the reasons that he won is, in my view, a failure of the Democratic Party that must be rectified. And that is why I am supporting Keith Ellison for the next term. The Democratic Party has got to recognize, and I now not here to blame anybody, not to criticize anybody, but facts are facts. When you lose the White House to the least popular candidate in the history of America, when you lose the Senate, when you lose the House, and when 2/3 of governors in this country are Republicans, it is time for a new direction for the Democratic Party. Time. No, that's not Bernie. No. It really is not. No, I mean this very sincerely. I appreciate your love, and it is mutual. It is mutual. I love you all. And we are motivated by love, unlike some who are motivated by hatred. But brothers and sisters, if there's any message I have today, it is not Bernie. It is all of us together. Point number one. If we are going to go forward successfully, the Democratic Party has got to recognize some very important realities that Donald Trump, in fact, did recognize. And that is, yes, we are better off today economically than we were 8 years ago. We've made a lot of progress in a lot of areas. But, There are millions of people today, working class people, middle class people, low income people, who are living in despair. And we have got to recognize that reality. I want you to think for a moment. Think about a woman in New York City earning fairly good income, $50,000 a year. She's paying $15,000 for child care. She can't afford it. Talk about the worker in Vermont who's not working one job. He's working 2 or 3 jobs to cobble together the income he needs in order to take care of his family. Think about the person who went into debt to go to college, has a degree, and is now making $12 an hour, $60,000 in debt. Think about half of the older workers in America, 55, 60, 65 years of age, who are going into retirement, who have zero money in the bank as they head into retirement. Talk about the millions of workers who are trying to get by a $9, $10, $11 an hour. Talk about the senior citizens and the disabled veterans who are trying to get by on $11,000 or $12,000 a year. Talk about the elderly people who are cutting their pills in half because they cannot afford the outrageous prices that the pharmaceutical industry is charging us. Talk about and think about millions of people who are living in despair, who are turning to alcohol, drugs, and suicide as a solution to where they are today. There is a lot of pain in America. Capitol Hill doesn't understand it. We do. And we are going to reach out to those brothers and sisters and work with them to transform this country. I have not the slightest doubt that millions of people voted for Donald Trump despite their understanding that he is a racist and a sexist. But they voted for him because they believed that he was going to stand up to the establishment. Well, the truth is, as all of you know, Donald Trump is not going to stand up to the establishment. We are going to stand up to the establishment. Going to take on Wall Street and their greed and their illegal behavior. Thank you, Occupy Wall Street. We are going to take on the insurance companies and the drug companies and fight for a Medicare for all single-payer program. We are going to take on corporate America and fight for trade policies that work for working people in this country, not just the CEOs of large corporations. There is an area that we will not compromise one iota. We will not compromise on the issues of racism, on sexism, on xenophobia and Islamophobia. You know, everybody here knows, in a democracy, we disagree with our neighbors, we disagree with our wives and our husbands. That's America. Okay, that's good. We can disagree on public policy. But this country, as all of you know, for hundreds of years, we have fought, and so many brave people have died in the struggle, or been beaten, or went to jail, to fight against the horrific policies that were put in place against our Native American brothers and sisters, against our African American brothers and sisters, against the Latino brothers and sisters. 100 years ago today, women did not have the right to vote, could not get the education or the jobs that they wanted, but millions of women and their male allies stood up and demanded fundamental change. Women will not be second-class citizens in this country. And we all know the struggle that the LGBT community struggled for to make certain that all people in this country have the right to marry whomever they want, regardless of gender. We have struggled to move forward and have made real success in making this country a less discriminatory society. We all know too much racism and sexism exists, but we should be proud of the progress we have made. Donald Trump, we are not going back.
That's right.
And there is another issue that cannot be compromised because the future of the planet depends upon it. Donald Trump thinks that climate change is a hoax.
He's a hoax.
Donald Trump,
Yeah.
Donald Trump is dangerously wrong on that vitally important issue. Donald Trump has got to start listening to the scientific community and not just the fossil fuel industry. Brothers and sisters, there is a lot of anguish across the land and a lot of pain and a lot of fear. But as previous speakers have told you, and what I believe, if you look at history, the lesson that you learn is that when ordinary people stand up by the millions, when they don't let demagogues divide us up by race or by our sexual orientation, or whether we're men or women, whether we're born in this country or come from abroad, when we stand together and keep our eyes on the prize, when we focus on economic justice, when we focus on social justice, racial justice, environmental justice, when we stand together, Donald Trump and nobody is going to stop us. Let's go forward together.